house was a fun house. We had, yeah, we had a good time. Our family dinner table, if you ever want to laugh, you'd sit at that table and you just would bust up. I feel guilty when I talk to other comedians and they talk about their horrible childhood, and I'm like,
You're like, not me.
I had great parents. I have great siblings. I can't relate. And he loved people. He wanted everybody to succeed. And
Oh,
and
that's so rare in Hollywood.
it's very rare. And he got that, a lot of that, from Phyllis Diller too, because that's the way she was. She always made sure, if there was something she could do to help you, she did it.
Oh yeah, I could tell she's really, really sweet and cared about people for real.
Yeah.
True.
Yes. And I think being around that early in Dad's career, I think that's what he picked up on more than anything else. There are so many lessons he taught me. First of all, family comes first.
Mm-hmm.
And also to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
If what you're doing isn't what you want to do, then do something else.
Which celebrity had the biggest impact on you growing up and why?
I would think it would be Phyllis Diller.
Yeah.
Just the impact she had on our family. I mean, she really brought my dad out to California, which changed all of our lives. Exactly. My brother once said, he said, "Can you imagine what our lives would have been like if Phyllis wasn't involved?" And they would be completely different. So she was, I think, the biggest influence and someone who I, to this day, adore.
Oh.
As a kid growing up, as a teenage girl, our biggest thrill was when Dad did Welcome Back, Kotter, and we all got to meet John Travolta.
Oh wow!
Yes, and that was a thrill for us.
Yeah.
And we have 3 girls in the family, and well, I also have a brother, but there's 3 of us girls, and we got to meet John Travolta, but we weren't standing in order. So my dad introduced us as Terry, Carol, Linda, but we were standing as Linda, Carol, Terry. And my oldest sister, Terry, was so upset because she's like, John Travolta's going to fall in love with me and think it's Linda. And it was so as a kid, meeting John Travolta was the highlight. That was a big deal.
That is amazing. Did you meet Carol Burnett? I'm sure.
Yes.
And everybody on the show. Tell us give us some tea about the show, like meeting them, maybe going to the show when your dad was there, or how, give us some tea.
I was never allowed to go to the actual taping of the show. I was too young.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was a certain age where you could go, and it was a big deal in the family when you turned that age, that your birthday, you would go to the show and out to dinner, and it was a big deal. The week I was turning that age, they changed the age limit, and I couldn't get in. And so I never went to a taping of the Carol Burnett show until the very last season when Dad said, "You're coming to the show." And I'm like, "But I'm not 16. And he's like, "What are they going to do? Fire me?" He's like,
right.
"We're done at the end of the year anyway." So that I did get to go to one taping at the end of the year. But I was very fortunate in that my dad would bring me backstage with them, in the writer's room,
Nice.
in his office. So I got to I hung out more in that area than actually with the celebrities and stuff, just because of my age. But that's where Dad usually was. So I would always hang around there with Dad, or be there in his office. When he went on to Welcome Back, Kotter, the Welcome Back, Kotter staff was very open to having the kids on the stage. And my sister and I, when they taped on Friday afternoon, Friday evening.
Yeah.
So we'd get out of school. My mom would drive us to the studio, drop us off. We hang out, watch the taping, have dinner with Dad, watch the second taping, hang around, and then we'd go home with Dad. And we did that every Friday night and loved it. I mean, it was just so much fun. You'd get to sit there and eat with this, the cast and the crew. And that was so much fun as a kid.
That sounds like it. Here, Jose has a question. How close did you get to sit to the stage at Burnett's show?
I was like, I want to say like 3 rows back. And it was funny because they had, for whatever reason, they had a monkey in the show.
What?
And the monkey was running around the audience and kept coming up to me. And my
No.
dad said, "You're supposed to be inconspicuous. Why are you attracting a monkey?"
That's crazy. I love that. And here Jose saying Dilla's personality alone would be reason for me enough to try and date her. So much positiveness.
She
Right?
was she was one of the most positive people I ever met in my life.
Hmm.
And there was a time when we went to her house. My dad had wanted Phyllis, and later in life became a painter, an
Oh,
artist.
okay.
And my dad really wanted a painting. So I called and said, can we, the four kids, can we buy one from you for my dad for Christmas? And she's like, come to the house, look wherever you want. So we went out and we met her daughter, Stephanie. And Stephanie said, look, I'm going to go in the office. Phyllis isn't here right now, but she's like, just roam the house. All the paintings are on the wall, literally from the baseboards all the way to the ceilings. Every inch of the house was covered in her paintings. So she's
Wow.
like, just look at them. When you see something, take it off the wall. If you're thinking about it, just put it down and we'll go back. She's like, do whatever you want. And my sister and I spent like an hour and a half there just going through her house, looking at all these paintings. And when we're leaving, we finally found what we wanted. And I was talking to Stephanie and I said, just tell me, what made your mom so successful? And she said, the one thing with my mom was she never thought she would fail. Failure never entered her mind. So
Ah,
she never worried about failing because it never entered her mind. And I try to keep that philosophy in life. It's hard, but she's like, yeah, she just never, if she set her mind to something, failure wasn't an option. So she just succeeded at it.
yeah. And that's manifestation at its best.
Yeah. And it's terrific. And Phyllis also gave me another piece of advice that to this day, it's going to sound weird, but I think it's very true. My dad had open heart surgery very young in life. He was only
Oh.
42.
Ooh,
Yeah. And it was surprising and traumatic at the time.
of course.
And Phyllis came to the house after dad had the surgery. And we were sitting around talking, and she pulled me aside and she's like, your dad's doing well. He's doing okay. But she said, I just want to tell you, if you feel like crying, cry. She's like, get into bed, pull the covers over your head, and cry. She's like, we all need to do it. She goes,
Yeah.
if you don't, you're going to go crazy. So she's like, just let yourself. And I always think of that because I thought that was such good advice, especially for a teenage girl going
Yeah, right.
like, oh, it's okay for me to cry. Good. So, and I thought that was wonderful advice. And I've always appreciated her telling me that.
That's great advice. Absolutely. So did any celebrity ever that you met through your dad, did anyone surprise you ever with how down to earth or outrageous they were? We know Phyllis, super down to earth, but
Yeah.
how about outrageous? Anybody like they were so insane that in a good way?
There were a lot of a lot of insane people, but
Yeah, we know.
yeah, yeah. Um, Usually, if they were too far gone, Dad didn't bring us around. You know,
Really
he
smart
was
man.
yeah. It was like no, they're not going to be fun to be around. The one person who surprised me, and again the generosity, was Terry Fator, and
Oh,
he's the ventriloquist. He won America's Got Talent,
yeah.
and then got his own theater in Vegas, and became a multi millionaire and
Hmm.
very successful. And we didn't know it, but he was a student of Dad's. He had taken a course that Dad had offered. And he had said, if I ever become rich and famous, I'm going to thank all the people who helped me. And apparently, Dad was one of those people, and he contacted Dad. And Terry's like, look, all of you come to the show. He's like, but before we go to the show, we'll pick you up at the hotel. Come to my house. We'll have lunch, dinner. We'll sit and talk. We'll get to know each other. Then we'll go to the show and talk. And I was just so shocked that someone would just open their home like that. And it was wonderful. We had such a good time. And he was very appreciative of the work Dad had done for him. Dad's
Hmm.
like, I didn't even know I had done anything. And he's like, you were the only person who gave me encouragement.